Hello everyone. Okay, so we are out here. It's like 32 degrees right now, and it's not going to get much higher than this, maybe up to 35. As you can see, we're at the barn, but attached to that right here, as you see right there, is our chicken coop. We are not going to cover this outside out here, but that doorway that we have in the corner inside, which we're going to bring this inside and show you, we're going to cover that area. That's where they sleep at night, our chickens. And so we're going to keep the draft of the winds, because we got some pretty good wind coming through. All we're going to do is cover up that draft. Today was the day I showed you how we're going to take this homestead and how we're going to secure it from the bitter cold that we are not used to. Even our animals are not used to down here in the deep south of Mississippi. So I'm going to take you inside and try to set this up, and hopefully our birds won't disturb this camera. Okay, y'all, so Mr. Parton is standing here at the doorway of our chicken house. Now at the bottom of this we have what's called a doggy door. We are using nothing but $1.25 shower curtain. That'd be enough. We've got the windows in here. They are covered too. This is how, and they gather, we have enough chickens that they gather together to keep warm. So that's all we're going to do. I figured I'd take you with us to show you what we do on this homestead to prepare for bitter cold that we're about to have. We try not to alter things as much as possible. You can bring it down a little more if you want.
I won't put it.
Or no, just I mean across that way a little if you wanted to. That one, right there, right there. Oh, Mr. Tom's talking to y'all too while we work here. Get out of his way. Now I'll show you inside. If I can get this camera to work inside here, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the nesting boxes to make it just a little bit more warmer for them instead of the ground. They like to stay up on their perches, or a lot of them stay up in their nesting boxes. So I'm actually going to fill these up some more. These girls like to kick out my pine shavings in their boxes. So I'm going to fill their boxes back up again. That'll help give their a little bit more warmth for them to lay in. I'm going to take you inside. Alright, y'all, so here is our Brahmas, and then along this line we've got our nesting boxes. So this is what I'm going to refill back up, but this is the box that they'll stay in to try to stay warm, and this is the area that we're trying to take care of. So it'll be a place, it'll take away the draft. It's not going to take away the cold, but it'll help secure them a little better. There's enough breathing space, there's air that they can still get. So we're just going to take care of them against this bitter, and then everything's coming back down again. Okay, so this is all we've done now with this door, is just put up this plastic right here. And then, like I said, they have their little doggy door they can get in and out of, and then that one side is open for me so that I can go ahead and feed them. Now we're going to go over to the pheasant house. Okay, y'all, so now we've got the pheasant house, and this is the outside area we're going to close off. They have a bottom we're not closing at all. They're still going to get air from the bottom, but it will take and keep these guys a little safer against the bitter cold that's coming and the wind drafts. So we're going to take and cover them up right now. These guys are a little bit more spookish than the others, so we're just trying to be careful with them. Hopefully I have enough. We may have to cut it down.
Wow, that's all the way you got.
Okay. this one here, y'all, we have to kind of work together on. That wind is cold. But I know some people are getting it worse than we are. Up in Illinois, y'all have got temps that are -9, -7, and I am so sorry. Right. Now we'll be doing this for at least 4 days, keeping them covered like this. I know. A lot of things need to be fixed up around here. Especially that roof of that coop. Alright y'all, so we're going to go ahead and finish covering up this, and then when we get back I'll show you how this was taken care of. Okay y'all, so the next harvest we are going to try to actually save on this one and not pick it, unlike the greens, is our parsley, and I'm going to show that to you. I'm going to show you how I'm going to try to do this. Let me get past this train and I will be right back. Alright y'all, so I'm going to aim you down and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. Now I'm not going to cover it right now. I don't want to create condensation to where the water is going to fall on top of my parsley. That way it surely will freeze them. So the least I can do is just fix up the hoop house covering that I'm going to try over the top of these to protect them as much as possible. And then from there I will cover them this evening. So let me bring this camera down and show you right there on this side of the bed is what we're going to try to cover. I have metal framing that I could put over the top of this bed, and I'm just going to create a hoop house over the outside edges of this raised bed. And I'm using what I usually would use for tomato steak, so then I'm just going to shape form it into a covering. Just like so. Pulling it away for as much as I can away from the parsley. Let me aim this camera differently so you can see everything. There, this way I don't make y'all seasick. As you can see, I'm creating a hoop house over this bed. So I'm just going to bring it through here, popping this metal part into the ground. It holds that in place, and then from here I'm going to freeform this away from the plants. This way when I put the covering on it, it does not touch the plants, because touching it can cause it to freeze. There we go. And that's it. Now I'm just going to leave this covering this hoop house until later this evening, and I've got some old greenhouse material I can cut into size and be able to cover it completely over and on the sides to protect this for the next couple days from the freeze. Is it going to work? I really don't know. I really don't want to cut all this parsley if I don't have to. I will find out if they will survive the bitter cold that's coming our way. If not, I'm just going to go ahead and start with the new stock. So They do have mulch leaves. I'm not going to remove that. I'm going to keep the bed the way it is because it's insulating them. So now I'm going to move on to the next thing that we're going to fix up. Okay, so the next point of business is being able to put enough pine shavings inside of the quail hutch. This area stays more insulated for them to go to. Hi, babies. Come on, back up. Back up, buddy. So I'm going to have to do this strategically with these guys. So I'm going to have to get a dish. And I'm going to be filling that and then coming back in here and putting the shavings in here because they like meeting me at the door. So I got a dish and we'll be filling it up this way. Sometimes work is a little hard for me, but hey, I get it done. Go on, go. I get you guys across that other line. I'm going to block it off for you. All right, come on, my babies. Come on, you can do it. Come on, come on. No, that way. Thank you. Yep, one more. Come on. There you go. Come on, buddy. Attaboy. Good job. All right, now we can do this better. Whew. Work smarter, not harder. Alright, now spread this around and then they will be insulated in here during this cold. Got an egg. I don't ever use cedar because cedar will give them respiratory issues, but pine shavings work really well. Okay, these babies have enough shavings in here that they will be absolutely warm. Okay. All right, babes. You can come out now. Come on. Come check it out, guys. Come on, my babies. There you are. Come check it out. Put this back down, and they will be nice and warm. All right, on to the next. I got to go take now the rest of these shavings into the chicken coop, and we need to fill up the nest box. Okay, y'all, so now I am doing the nest box. One of my girls laid an egg. Thank you, babies. So now I'm just going to go through here and we're going to fill these up, and then it should be just basically doing the feeding and the watering as far as chores go on the rest of the homestead. So this is how I prepare for a harsh winter. Excuse me, on a harsh winter on our homestead. I do the best I can to take care of our stocks. Someone even asked me, is this all worth it? And my answer is absolutely yes, it is. I mean, as you just seen, when I can gather an egg, nobody's seen me ever do that before. In the summertime, I can bring a basket here inside of my coop, and I collect my farm fresh eggs. I can go to my kitchen, and I don't have to worry about buying a store-bought egg. There's no hormones in any of the stuff that I have. antibiotics, whatever else. So there's no jeopardizing my food. So yes, it's absolutely worth going through all this trouble for it. And the fact is, a lot of people see me in the kitchen with the stuff that's already done, but they don't see how I've done it. They don't see the gathering within the homestead or nothing. So, I mean, this is actually kind of cool to watch, to see where it all comes from, how it all starts, what all that we do to get where we're at, and basically what it takes to maintain and keep it. All right, girls, don't go kicking this out now. Y'all are driving me nuts with this. I'm trying to keep you warm. You like to scratch it. And at least once a month I come in here and clean these boxes out completely. And that's it, y'all. So now I just do my regular feeding and watering at this point. The rest of the homestead is already covered. I've got the covering, a greenhouse covering on top of the turkeys, so I don't have to do anything for them. We did put the covering over the door of this area on the box. That's all I need to do. The windows are covered, and that's fine because there's still enough air cracks in this coop to be able to keep them ventilated. So, and one of the next projects we're going to end up having to do is, honestly, we're going to have to roof this coop and replace these boards. This is about a 5-year-old, 4 to 5-year-old coop. When we first started this, we came to learning processes, and over the years, I'm surprised it's lasted this long, but I'm thankful that it has. But it is time. We need to upgrade. We need to fix this coop back up before, honestly, we start losing it. So maintenance is a definite, I have to here, or I'm going to end up having to lose something on this homestead. So we figure it out. I mean, we take it one step at a time. So that is going to be another project to come up, is redoing our chicken coop so that our babies have a better place to live, more peaceful for us and more peaceful for them. So in the meantime, we're just hoping and praying things hold up. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my farm chores, and that will probably be the end of this. Besides, I have to go out and do some gathering, so I might take you with me on that one. Okay, y'all, so I pretty much have, yes, Mr. Tom, I pretty much have everything secured. We've got the door secured. We've got the pheasants secured off. I've done all my rounds of feeding and watering right now. I did the hoop over the parsley, and so all I have left now is harvest all these greens. I was debating and actually praying about the fact of just putting a hoop and all that over all these greens, but honestly, spring's coming. I'm just going to go ahead and harvest them all. I will use these up for the rest of the winter, and I will get ready to start for the new spring season. I'm just going to go ahead, after I pull these greens, lay the leaves that we have on the ground over the top of it, and I'm just going to leave it sit just like the rest of the beds are. So sorry about Tom, y'all. He's got to say his piece evidently too on the farm. So the last step is, I've got I need to actually get some more of these, I think, this year. I've had this one, and I've just got a good feeling I'm going to need more than that this year. So yes, sir. Thank you. That's confirmation. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start picking the greens so that we can process them, even if it's just straight in the freezer or even fresh. And we're going to go ahead and do some work. Y'all are probably wondering and asking me, why in the world am I out here by myself out in the cold at 35 degrees and not inside where everybody else is, where it's nice and warm with the wood heat? Personally, there's more peace out here for me right now than there is inside. So I'm just going to simply enjoy what I have out here. I'm going to work. I bundled up, as you've seen. So, and just like I did the kale, I'm just going to go ahead and pop the roots off these. I'm going to end up washing them anyways, so I'm just going to pop the roots off. They're going to go back into the ground basically and decompose or rot up in there and just make more of a compost for me basically. So chop and drop situation. And I'm just taking it at the base so I keep my young. I'm just going to pick all of this out. And I'm okay with it. I honestly am. I had some good crops out of this and I can't complain. So I can't complain at all. We've got to eat greens for most of all of fall and then a good part of the winter. We're almost out of winter. So we had food. And I'm actually proud of that. We actually had some food. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this bed off. Once I get this done, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Because I got to take this side where it's, let me show you here, where hubby fixed this board back up. I got to take and cover all that with leaves too. And I got a good mess right over on the other side of this bed. So I'm going to get this cleared out and then I'm going to cover this. Alright y'all, so what was left of these greens were actually starting to bolt. They were real tough. Some of them upon investigation had already been bit last night. There's a lot of yellow. So I took all these. They were also very tough leaves. So I just pulled what, I did get a basket full on this side. So I took the rest of it, broke it down, and I'm just going to let this sit for the rest of the winter till spring. When spring comes around, we'll take the shovel and we'll turn it in. So I'm going to go to the last 10 footer bed, finish the rest of these greens, and I'll take you with me. And that'll be the last of the harvest for this year. Well, this last season's crops before we start a new set. So let's go over there to the 10 footer. Alright, my family, so you are around for the very last of Parton's Heritage Homestead's 2023 crops before we start our new year come spring. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. I ain't never had anybody with me in the finalizing of finishing out an entire crop. So, it's kind of exciting and it's a sad moment at the same time, to be honest with you. But like I said, I'm okay because I'm ready for the new season. I've had a lot of blessings come out of these, and I can't say anything bad. I can just go ahead and reap the harvest. So I'm gonna first of all get my gloves on because that's cold. I thought I could do this barehanded, but I'm not that strong. I am, but I'm not. It's hard to work in gloves though, honestly. I'm used to my hands all the time. I'm just going to go through here picking. There's some of them, see, they've already been getting bit by the cold. So, and greens I know can last a while, but I'll tell you, I learned last year, even greens though, they can only withstand so much cold. Last year at 7 degrees, they didn't fare very well. That's why I'm deciding to make this decision. Just go ahead and finish these crops off. And again, it looks like some of these have gotten tough and they started bolting, so I may end up doing like I did the last crop. So they're not actually going to waste per se either. They will just be used for fertilizer basically back into the garden. So I'm not wasting anything, even if we're not able to eat them. So just like the last batch, I'm going to go ahead, harvest what I can out of these, and then I'll chop and drop for the next season out of the rest of it. So no fret, I'm not worried about it, I'm good. I actually got to, on this batch here, can a couple jars of mixed greens, as a matter of fact. So I think I had 24 jars, pints of our greens. So like I said, I can't complain, y'all. I am extremely blessed. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this crop, and then that'll finish our crops off. Okay, y'all, so we have chopped, dropped, and we have just let this bed sit the way it is. I'm gonna go finish off the last final bit of preparing for the winter, and I will be finished. Okay, y'all, I told you that I was waiting on the parsley until at last of it. It has not looked like that on camera, but it has been a couple hours now, and temperatures are starting to drop. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the executive decision to go ahead and cover this bed. I have a piece of cloth left over from my greenhouse. It's already in pieces, so I'm actually going to utilize my scraps into making something useful for this farm. So I'm just going to take this down the seam that it is in, cut this down to size. And you get to see what it's like for one person to do such. Can one person do this? Absolutely, if you're determined to. Now I'm going to take this other piece I have here. Sorry about the dog, y'all. And I'm going to cover it like so. Now I'm going to put anchors on each end so that I can hold this down. This will make a covering over the top of this parsley, protecting it from the really harsh elements, making a hoop house over it. I'm going to take the old pots that I have, placing them on top so I can anchor this down and keep the wind from blowing it away. Wrapping that there, putting that on top. I do have some more around here. Go ahead and put one on this side as well. And this way it keeps anything from blowing off the top of this hoop house. And put one more pot right here. And this should anchor it all down for me. Give me 1 second. Okay. And that's it. Now this should stay anchored down and it will protect my parsley. So I just used the scraps that I had. Now I'm going to go take that piece. I'm going to save it and use it for something else and be right back. And that, y'all, is going to be the last preparing. What's to come is going to come. I've done everything that I absolutely could do on this homestead at the moment, and there's nothing more I can do. The one thing I can do right now, because the temps are dropping, is I can go inside, sit next to the wood heater with a hot cup of coffee, and now I can go warm up. I did my work. I'm content with that. I met God halfway, and He could take care of the rest for me. So I'm going to trust in Him, but I did my part. I didn't just sit around. This is what I do every day for this homestead. I give it my 100%, and in return, it gives me all that it can do as well. So I'm blessed for that. If I were to just sit on my laurels, how would I ever have said I'm a homesteader? If I just sat down and just let things do as they do, just pop the seed and I'm going to run and I'm not going to attend to any of this, then why do I even have a homestead? But this is what I enjoy. I'll go to every measure when asked, what am I doing out in the cold? I'm doing what I do out in the cold because I love what I have. And in return, I brought in 2 eggs from the chicken coop. I brought in about 4-5 quail eggs from the quails. I brought in some greens. Yesterday I got kale to make a soup out of. Why am I out in the cold? This is why. Because I can reap from the harvest. I can enjoy my fruits of my labor, and knowing that I'm satisfied because I have nourishment, enrichment, and all that inside of my body. I love the peace out here, whether it's cold or not. And see, the part of homesteading is weather has no change in what I do. If I got to take the good with the bad in everything in life. So if it's pouring down rain, I bundle up, I put on my rain boots, and I have to feed these guys. They feed me, and in return I can give them my all too, because they're worth that. And the fact is, on the sunny days it's hot, but I get tomatoes and whatever other kind of fruits and vegetables that I get. You know, sunny days, not so sunny days, it's all part of the homesteading. And I took you with me on one of the not so happy days, the hard work. And it is hard work, but it was worth it. So I love you all. I'm gonna go in and get warm because it is cold, and I'm just gonna go get snuggled up next to the heater. I'm gonna go grab that cup of coffee, and I will see you guys soon. Tomorrow I probably won't be videoing because I'm just gonna be honest, I have chicken in my pantry with some chicken broth, and I'm just gonna make some chicken lemon soup and grilled cheese sandwiches. So no big deal on that. It's just what I'm gonna do to keep warm, because we're looking at snow, sleet, possibly ice, and some very, very low temps. So I'm just gonna buckle down, y'all, and I will be back probably Tuesday or Wednesday to do some more videos with you. I love you dearly, and until next time, please, please, many of you stay warm, because you're gonna go through the storm the same time I am, if you are not already. So I love you, and we will talk to you again, my dear family. Hugs from Parton's Heritage Homestead.